It's working fine. Okay, everybody. This is Ronnie Jones, aka Scrippenhammer House Stop. This is Grumpy Old Marine wood turning, and welcome to my shop. All right, today we're gonna turn this. I'm gonna try to turn this piece of oak. It was down in a hurricane 2 years ago. I didn't realize it was this punky. I done a little test on it yesterday. I don't know if it's gonna turn or not. I got it on a plate. I got 10 2.5 inch screws in it. I feel pretty good it's not gonna come off of there. I'm gonna bring my tailstop up here in a minute too. And but it's tearing really bad, some spots. So I don't know what it's gonna do. We're gonna try to turn it. I don't know if we'll get a good enough tenon to hold it right here or not, but it's something we gotta deal with. I got it on here, so we're gonna give it a try. I don't think it's dangerous. I don't think it's gonna go anywhere. But like I say, we're gonna bring this tailstock up. Just to give us a little more support. Sure, about right there. Not hitting anywhere. Okay, I'm gonna go change the angle back, put my face shield down, and in case something do fly off it. I got a couple pieces of bark right here, or right there left on it that could come flying off of it. Not no big deal, but all right. So let's see what we can do. Turn the lathe on. I done checked the speed. I run at about 620 RPM, about as fast as you can go with this big piece before it starts really vibrating. Now we're gonna try to go across here. I'll get this thing trued up. I'll tell you what else I gotta do real quick. I forgot something. I got this thing. This thing's got two speeds on it. It's got a high and a low. And with this bigger piece right here, punky did, it's gonna bog it down on the high speed. The high speed will go up to 3,500 RPM. Low speed only goes to 1,100. So I'm gonna change it over real quick. It's right back here. You can't see it, but we got a belt right here. I'm gonna put this light over here where I can see it. Change this belt real quick. Well, I feel like it's on there good. Down and down. Well, that ain't tight. Yeah, down here. Uh, All right. Belt jumping. I had a little trouble, more trouble than I usually do, but I got it then, I believe. Let's check it out. All right, there we go again. See, it's trying at a little fast. We got to turn it back down. See how it vibrates if you get too fast. This thing ain't going to be able to go very fast for quite a while now, but we're going to work with it. Base shield back down. That thing is real wet. I'm getting the shavings all over me. I'm getting wet. It had over 50% moisture in it. All right, we might be fairly round that way. Ooh, that thing's punky. All right. Now we're going to true it up this way. Turn it, make sure it's not hitting. Let's put it back on here. To regular V. All right. There we got it fairly round. All right. Now, boy, that's some rough looking stuff. I don't know if this thing ever straighten up or not. But since it's green, I'm going to go ahead and try to get it shaped and then let it dry out a few months, and then we'll see if we can't shore it up with some resin or something. I don't know. I I don't do a lot of this, but I need to do more of this trying to say this. So I just don't know if we can get a tenon right here that's going to hold, but we're going to see. If we can't get a good tenon right there, we won't be able to hold it on the chuck. All right. You change this thing back around. See here, let's see. Get this view right here again. See how everything's going? Ain't got anybody in the chat. All righty. So I gotta get a tenon. These jaws right here. This is the biggest set of jaws I got right here. We're gonna make a tenon to fit inside these jaws right here. This is Axe Master Chuck right here. This Axe Master SK114. When it's at 6 mil, right at a 1/4 inch gap right there, that's when this thing makes a perfect circle. And that's when you got your best hole. So that's what we want to measure. So that's right at 3 5/8. So we're gonna cut us a tenon that's 3 5/8 right here. And it can be about almost a 1/2 inch deep. We're gonna put as big and deep as tenon as we can on this thing. I got a pretty good idea of what we start with that. That's pretty close right there. It needs something that's a little smaller. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna back this off. We're gonna get this tailstock out of the way for a minute. Go change that view back. All right, I'm gonna see if I can ease this speed up now. A little too much. That's still a good bit out of bounds. Okay, that's about 770. That's a little better than we were. The more speed you can get out of it, the easier it's gonna be on you to turn and all. All right, we're gonna measure that again. All right, by the time I straighten that up, that's gonna be mighty, mighty close. I'm gonna get me a scraper now. Here's my flat point scraper right here. We'll go in here and scrape this side with it. Okay, that's pretty close. I'm a little deep. I'm gonna small it up. I'm gonna trim. I'm gonna go right in here. This got cutting edge on the side too. We want where that all meets right there. We want a good 90-degree angle right there where that chuck gonna fit really good. Now we're gonna take a little bit off of it. We're a little deep right here. Pretty good right there. I'm gonna put me a center point right here. We're gonna need this later. It's so punky. I don't know about that, but anyway. So now, like I say, this gonna what we saw a twice turn bowl or roughing a bowl out. We're just gonna rough it to shape, and then we're gonna leave it about an inch thick when we do the inside and all the way around. And that way it'll let this thing dry and all without cracking up. And it's gonna warp some, but then you can put it back. We'll have an inch thickness, and then we'll have enough thickness on it. We put it back on the lathe when it dries, and we can turn it back out. That's the theory. Anyway, that's how it works. With this punky bowl, once it dries out, I'll see if I can coat it with some resin or something. First, we gotta see if we can get it turned around. So we're gonna start right here, and I just want a kind of a standard shape on this thing. So all right, I'm trying not to stand. I don't think it's gonna come off these screws, but I'm trying not to be in the line of fire of this thing no more than I have to. And when we turn it around, they do the bowl. And since this is kind of piffy, I certainly don't want to be in its way. All right, that's all we're gonna go to do to that right now. That's kind of the shape I want. I just want an old standard round type bowl. All right, let me change the view again. Doing that in the chat. All right. All right. Now we got to get this thing off of here. There we go. All right. Get my screwdriver. You get all these screws out of here. Can't really see that. I'm going to drop this down just a little bit. So you can see why. This is the face plate. This is what was hooked in right here on the chuck, on the headstock. And I had it in there with these 2-inch screws. Like I said, I got a ton of them. I filled up every hole, but I didn't want it to go nowhere. Some of them held good, some of them hit hard stuff, and some of them didn't. So I just put them till I didn't have no holes left. All right, we got that off. All right, but now this is the chuck. This is an Axlander SK114. It's got the type H gripper jaws on it, or type G gripper jaws on it. It's got them big gripper jaws on it. And hopefully this tendon's gonna hold up. We'll find out. Bring this tail slots up. You want to get it nice and straight in here. And when we do this, we want to look right here between this right here. We'll make sure we don't have any cracks. In between the chuck and the bowl. This thing just crunching on down. I don't know if it's going to stay or not. All right. Turn the lathe speed down to 0. Ain't got nothing in the way right now. Turn it on. All right. That's turning fairly true. Oh. Around my toes. I change this back over. I think I have a better angle over here. I'll change this back over. Let me see if I got this about the right height. It's a little low. Just a little bit. We'll lay that tailstop up there for a little while. We're gonna have to get it out of the way eventually, but and I'm over here now. The bowl's right here, so I'm not in line with the bowl. If this thing was to come off, probably tear my camera up, but it won't hit me. All right, we're gonna stay about right there. Now we're just gonna start hollowing this out right here. And like I said before, we wanna get us a 1 inch thickness all the way around, somewhere close. My tailstock done got in my way now. Get it out of the way. It don't over center a little bit. Take this thing down. If we ain't got a good hold on this thing, we'll try our best not to get much of a kick. But this thing's so soft, it should be all right. Still ain't got my tailstock out of the way for now. There we go. We'll true this rim up a little bit more already. There we go. And I'm gonna round outside of this over right here, cause if you leave it square when it dries, corners like to crack. So we're gonna round everything over. And we're gonna do the inside too when we get done there. So maybe it'll help stop it from cracking. Like I say, this was about a 10-inch bowl. Now we're gonna go about an inch. Let me get a pat going. Get us a mark right here. All right, that's what the outside is gonna be. The inside gonna be right there. We want to leave some of that meat. We don't want to take all the meat out of the center because that's the heart of it. That keeps it a little more stable till we have to. All right. I'm gonna check. I'm gonna check this again because this green stuff will loosen up on you. It seems like it has some. This wet stuff, even if it's not punky, uh it'll just compress as you turn it, and then it'll compress down and it'll keep compressing, then it'll loosen up. All right, now we need to get our thickness gauge. This is a bowl gauge right here. You check it in on one end, and you can check it on the other end right there. It shows you thick. So we're gonna go right here. We need to come down to this. We pretty good right there. That's about an inch, I believe. A little bit more. So, and it gets thicker here. And then my guess is it's pretty thick on the bottom. Yeah, it's about you can't see over here, but it's about an inch and 3/8 on the bottom. So we're getting close. So we're just gonna start right here. We're gonna come down here to take and get this on down some, and then we'll get that out of the way. This thing will speed up just a little bit. We didn't like that. All right, we're at 800. We're gonna stay there. Face shield down. I gotta put this light over here where I can see too. Try not to get it in your way, but I can't see inside the bowl. That hurt. That might hurt y'all from seeing him. Yes, that's better. Okay. Hey, peeled off right there, like I told you. See that? Oh well, gonna be a smaller bowl. I swear. I'm just gonna leave that like that right now and let it dry like it is, since we're roughing it up. We just need a little right there. Now we're gonna take this out of here. I don't turn a lot of, most of my bowls have been kiln dried and stuff I had left over from my cabinet business. I don't turn a lot of green stuff. This is the punkiest one I've ever turned. I usually just stay away from them, but I wanted to try this, and we'll try to maybe use resin and fix this in and all. Maybe I'll have me a pressure pot by then. But I just let it sit out there on the ground too long. I got some more out there that hadn't been on the ground. Maybe they're in better shape, but I will not come in right there too. All righty. We got it. Let me change this thing over again. All righty. Can't see my head, but you can see this better maybe. I don't know. Let me go bet it up a little bit. All right. So these calipers, maybe you can see it, but they right at an inch right there. Pretty consistent all the way around. Within a 1/16 all the way around there. More consistent, you get it pretty consistent, it'll dry more even. Like I say, this bowl may never work, but we're probably gonna have to use some resin or something on it. But I just wanted to give it a try after I done cut it off, done all that work getting it off the log. So now what I'll do is I'll take a paper bag, brown paper bag, and I'll get some of these shavings down here. And I'll show you this mess especially when you turn the green stuff, you get these big old chips. That's what you get. That's all off that bowl right there. But I'll put them in I'll put this thing in a brown paper bag with them chips right there, and we're gonna let it dry about 4 months probably. I'll keep checking it with a moisture meter till it gets down a little bit, and then we'll go from there. But that's what you call a rough green bowl. This thing's still wet. Don't know what to do with my moisture meter. I think it's over here. Yeah, here it is. All righty, let's see. Yeah, this thing's still over 50% moisture. And that one's 47 there, 52, 54. And we want it down to 12 or less to turn it to do the final turning with it. Because if it's not, it'll warp. When you turn it, it'll keep warping and all. Got to be around here, 12% works just fine, 12 or less. All right, that's an ugly bowl right there. Usually when they're green, if they're not punky, and when I say punky, it's just soft because that just means it was in the decay. It's decayed a lot more than I thought it had. But there is ways to fix it. And when it does get dry, I'll do a video on it and we'll see how we can fix it with resin or something. There's ways to do it, to soak this in with certain stuff to harden this wood, and also you can return it, and it won't be all messed up like that. All right. I did it for today. I just jumped out here and done that one real quick. I done one a few days ago, this week already. I'm trying to do another one, and I'm gonna do another one the next couple of days. I'm gonna try to keep them coming. Now y'all just bear with me. But just as always, I want you to be motivated, dedicated, and fired up about wood turning. Hoorah! Y'all have a great day. Fade to black. See.